You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Well, you know the address, one of the most famous in sports, and a lot of Yankee fans still giddy from last night's extra inning victory. Beautiful day here at the stadium. You see the matchup. It's time for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Detroit Tigers in the middle game of a three-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball along with Ken Singleton. I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees broke the 12-game winning streak of the Tigers yesterday and their own 4-game losing streak, and it took extra innings to get there. An exciting game.
Exciting game. The fans were excited. The Yankees are excited after winning, and last night's highlights included this. Robinson Cano with a double, and after 3 innings, the Yankees had a 3-0 lead as 2 runs scored. Then Mariano came on to the ninth. The Yankees with a 2-run lead. Ball fouled off, and Lyle Overbay that close to closing out the ball game. And then Miguel Cabrera, as he's done many times before, comes through with the big hit, ties the game, and it's on to extra innings. That's his 34th home run of the year. Brett Gardner with a base hit, bases loaded, the winning run scores. Jason Dick scores it, Yankees win, and Albuquerque wishes he was in New Mexico last night.
Great game, great finish for the Yankees. A lot of happiness as well. Austin Jackson had a great game. Alex Rodriguez did not. He's not starting today, just a day off. 3 strikeouts in his home debut. Gardner 3 for 5. You saw that game-winning single. And Nova was outstanding again. He didn't get a decision for the Yankees, their 4th walk-off win this season. Now let's look at today's New York Lottery pitching matchup. And for the Tigers, it's Anibal Sanchez, 9-7, 2.58. And for the Yankees, the struggling Phil Hughes, trying to bounce back from a rough start in San Diego. He's 4-10 with a 4.87. Ninth inning yesterday, when Mariano Rivera came in, you knew if one guy got on, there was going to be a classic matchup. That's exactly what we got when Miguel Cabrera dug in. We'll examine that pitch by pitch when we come back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the booth. That's Ken Singleton. I'm Michael Kay. Yankees won last night's game, but in the middle of that game, in the 9th inning, it's one of those matchups that you don't get all that often. 2 future Hall of Famers with the game on the line. Pretty special.
Yeah, very classic matchup. But with 2 outs in the 9th inning, the Yankees were leading by 2 runs and a man on base. Miguel Cabrera, last year's MVP at the plate, and he had an MVP type of at bat. He got down in the count early. It was 0-2. He was struggling. It looked like the game was going to be over. Checks his swing on a tight pitch. Another pitch inside, fouls it off. He's going to make a major adjustment, though, and watch the pitch that he actually hits for the home run. There's a slider outside. That's a show-me pitch. And then he steps out, steps in the bucket a little. Mariano tried to keep everything inside. That opened up the corner for him, and he hit it out of the ballpark. Tied the game. Fortunately for the Yankees, they went on to win.
That was his first career hit against Mo, and for Mariano, his 2nd consecutive blown save and he only has 4 this season. But the Yankees rebounded, and they won the game in the 10th inning on the Gardner base hit through the left side of the inning. Now Phil Hughes will have to try to get out Miguel Cabrera and the Tiger lineup. In fact, we'll have lineups. First pitch, baseball, Yankees-Tigers coming up next on Yes. In part by the Kia Optima Limited Midsize Sedan, elegance, performance, technology. By New York Yankees Premium Frozen Pizza, available at King Cullen, Western Beef, Christides, and your local grocer. And by Kettle One. Gentlemen, this is vodka. Please drink responsibly. Hot Saturday afternoon here in the Bronx, and Phil Hughes is taking his warm-ups as he tries to make it 2 in a row for the Yankees and give them a series win, which they haven't had for a long, long time. Let's take a look at the Tigers' starting lineup. The center fielder, Austin Jackson, will lead off. Batting second and playing right field, Torrey Hunter. Miguel Cabrera at third base will bat third. Cleaning up the DH Prince fielder, Victor Martinez at first base will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing left field, Don Kelly. Alex Avila will catch, will bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing second base, Hernan Perez. And the number 9 hitter is the shortstop, Jose Iglesias.
Austin Jackson waiting his turn to get up there against Phil Hughes, the 27-year-old right-hander for the Yankees, who gets his start today. He's made 21 previous starts, record at 4-10, ERA 4.87. You can see more than a hit per inning. The opponent's batting .280 against him. Let's check out our pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. This is a bounce-back start for Phil Hughes out on the West Coast in San Diego. Lasted just 2 2/3 in a loss to the San Diego Padres. His last win came at Minnesota against the Twins at Target Field. That was on July 2nd. And 1 forward and 1 back. His record in his career against the Detroit Tigers is 5-5. He's even.
Well, let's check out the Yankee defense, which is brought to you by Geico. Behind Phil Hughes, you'll have Granderson in left, Gardner in center, and Ichiro Suzuki over on right. Infield, Nix, Nunez, Cano, and Overbay. That's third to first. Romine gets to start behind the plate. And Phil Hughes is on the mound. Well, the Tigers had their 12-game winning streak snapped last night. And the Yankees their 4-game losing streak. And here's Austin Jackson. Austin had 4 hits last night, 3 doubles. And the first pitch is a strike. And we are underway. The 0-1. 1-1.
Jackson had a big night here last night. You see his season average up to 270. He had a 4-hit night, including 3 doubles.
Driven out to center field. Gardner on the retreat, back. And it's going to be over his head and up against the wall. Jackson round second. He's going for third, and the relay throw was mishandled, and that allowed Jackson to get a triple.
Well, Jackson picks up where he left off last night, and that ball, the relay throw, actually hit Robinson Cano in the wrist. It was a short hop. Jackson gets a pitch middle of the plate, and he drives it. This is more what we saw last night from him. And Gardner looked like he might have had a shot, but this ball just carried and carried. One hop that short hops the wall. Here's the relay throw as he's going to get it back in. Plays it off the wall. The relay throw. Cano mishandled. I thought they had a shot with Cano's strong arm. I thought they had a shot at Jackson when he tried for third.
Torrey Hunter takes a strike. Yankees play the infield back. They'll give up the run.
It's Jackson's 4th triple of the year.
You would think he'd have more than that playing in Comerica, which is a park that really yields triples.
The way that outfield fence is configured, you get the ball into right center where you hit it just now, that would have been a triple, easy triple.
Hot day game here at Yankee Stadium. You can see with Jackson's fly ball, the ball is traveling today, which is not good news for Phil Hughes.
Yeah, one of the pitchers in the league. We talked about Porcello and his way he gets ground balls. Phil Hughes is a fly ball pitcher.
Two and two.
Most of his outs, of course, other than the strikeouts, are recorded on fly balls. And people might ask, why does that happen to certain pitchers are fly ball pitchers, certain pitchers are ground ball pitchers? Well, you saw Porcello last night for the Tigers has one of the best sinking fastballs in the league. And when hitters go to swing at it, the ball actually is moving down. They hit on top of the ball, hit grounders. Phil Hughes' fastball is more in a direct line. So hitters with that slight upswing can get the ball in the air.
Fly ball, center field. Tagging is Jackson. The catch is made by Gardner. Here's the throw. Not nearly in time. A sac fly for Hunter. And the Tigers on the board 1-0.
So the veteran Torrey Hunter comes through, picks up his 57th run batted in of the year. And it puts the Tigers out front 1-0.
And that'll bring up Miguel Cabrera. Fouled away. All you hear is raves about this guy. Joe Girardi, who managed him for 1 year in Florida with the Marlins, said tough, plays hurt. He said he's one of these guys you don't see a lot of. He says he comes up there with a plan and actually adjusts his plan ballpark by ballpark. He said he's really not a guy who hits the ball to right field, but in a ballpark like this, he will take the ball to right field. At Fenway, he'll pull the ball. He hits according to the ballpark.
Every game he's played here at Yankee Stadium, 14 of them previously, he has reached base safely in every one. And last night, I think that plan came into being. You saw him make an adjustment during the course of the at-bat to Mariano Rivera. Mariano was busting him inside with the cutter. He fouled off 2 pitches off of his feet, one off his foot and one off his leg, and actually had to be attended to by the trainer for a while. The last pitch, he opened up a little quicker, opened up, kind of stepped in the bucket, that opened up the inside corner, and he hit the ball straight away center field for a home run. Very smart hitter.
And Mariano did make the perfect pitch, but even if he had busted him in again because he had opened up, he might have pulled the ball. The 1-2. 2-2. And so many people ask, well, I don't understand why people just don't walk this guy. Well, the guy hitting behind him isn't why they don't walk the guy.
In fact, there are two hitters behind him, not only Prince Fielder, but also Victor Martinez.
And that one is lined in the left center field. It is a base hit. Granderson cuts it off, and Cabrera will stop it first with a single.
Yeah, Cabrera not running well. He found that ball off his knee last night, and that's the one he was attended to. And now it's 15 games in a row here at Yankee Stadium that he's reached safely. And he's on with a 1-out single.
He's got the knee issue, which happened yesterday. He's got an abdominal issue. He's got a hip flexor issue. When you talk to people with the Tigers, they say he's playing at 75% right now, but will not come out of the lineup.
75%, he's better than 100% of most players.
And the pitch to Fielder is outside. All right, today's Cold Hard Fact brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. So, highest average at the current Yankee Stadium. Miguel Cabrera is creeping up on Justin Morneau. So Cabrera with that hit is 396. All of those people had a minimum of 50 at-bats here.
By the way, with Phil Hughes allowing a run today in the first inning, it's the first time he's allowed a run in the first inning in his last 8 starts. But this Tiger lineup, they hit as a team 290 with runners in scoring position. So when they put the runners in scoring position, somebody's coming through up and down the lineup.
Missed outside, 3-0 to Fielder. And there is Victor Martinez.
That's an impressive number, 290 as a team. They also lead the league in hitting as a team, overall batting average. And a lot of that can be attributed to that man right there. And because of his issues with the hip and the knee, the Yankees are playing behind him. Lyle Overbay a step or two behind him, but the left-handed hitting Fielder at the plate.
Count now 3-2. You and he got him. 2 outs. Came back from 3-0 to strike out Fielder.
Yeah, nice off-speed pitch. If Phil Hughes is going to have to do that today to mix up these Detroit Tiger hitters, not fastball after fastball, off-speed pitch, and Prince Fielder made to feel like a pauper. That's a classic, wasn't it?
Prince and the pauper.
Yeah.
Here's Victor Martinez. Missed inside. Yankees baseball is available in Spanish by hitting the SAP button on your television. SAP is brought to you by Infinity.
Now, I mentioned the Tigers hitting 290 with runners in. They are dwarfed by the St. Louis Cardinals, a team that's hitting 334 with runners in scoring position.
And then that's still not good enough to have a better record than the Pirates.
Exactly. Pirates having a fantastic year. Those two met head-to-head in Pittsburgh, and the Pirates won 4 out of 5. There was a makeup game involved.
Skies went the other way and out of play. You can see Martinez has that thing in his mouth. A lot of players wear that. It aligns their jaw, and it supposedly makes you more focused and keeps your energy all centered in your body. I know Derek Jeter uses that as well.
Isn't it supposed to take away tension too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I need one.
Yeah, I was thinking the very same thing. Not for you, for me.
The 1-2. Still 1-2.
Hughes went to the breaking ball on Martinez, and he must have been schooled watching Prince Fielder because he had a pretty good swing at this pitch. That one was up a little bit. Martinez has been a hot hitter. 357 his last 43 games. It's quite a stretch. It's like a quarter of the season. He's been hitting almost 360.
.95 miles an hour, so Hughes has a good fastball today. But 26 pitches he's thrown already in the first inning. Two-two. Driven out into left center field. Anderson makes the play, and that'll do it. Well, 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. Tigers won, and the New York Yankees coming to bat. And it is presented by Lexus. Yankees 2 games over 500 at 58 and 56. And they'll lead off their center fielder, Brett Gardner. Ichiro Suzuki in right field will bat second. Batting third, playing second, Robinson Cano. Alfonso Soriano, the DH, will clean up. The number 5 hitter is the left fielder, Curtis Granderson. Eduardo Nunez at shortstop will bat 6. Batting 7, playing first base, Lyle Overbay. Jason Nix at third base will bat 8. A-Rod just the day off, and Austin Romine will catch, and he's going to bat 9.
Anibal Sanchez on the mound has a good record for the Detroit Tigers. All of their pitchers are throwing the ball very well lately. 19 starts, 9 and 7, 2.58. You can see less than a hit per inning. And the opponent's hitting 227. Let's check out our pitcher scout report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Anibal Sanchez has had a ball game early this season where he struck out 17 against the Atlanta Braves. Number 1 is done. The last 14 hitters leading off an inning, he has retired all of them, 6 of them on strikeouts. He keeps the ball in play. His home runs per innings pitch is the lowest in Major League Baseball. 1 home run every 23 2/3 innings. And he made the DL this year. He was out with a shoulder strain, but he's back and throwing the ball well once again.
So Brett Gardner will lead it off. And the first pitch is outside, 1-0. Gardner had the game winner yesterday. Chopped one past a diving Cabrera at third base, scoring Nix to give the Yankees a much-needed victory. That would have been an excruciating loss. Again, 1 strike away, and Mariano couldn't keep the ball in the ballpark against Cabrera, but they ended up to win the game anyway. So it took some of the sting out of that, but when Mariano blows 2 games in a row, it's kind of startling. Popped up, shallow left. Don Kelly puts it away for the first out. Why don't we check out the Tiger defense presented by Geico. We've seen Kelly, so we'll start there in left field. Jackson is in center, and Torrey Hunter over in right. Infield, Cabrera, Iglesias, Perez, and Victor Martinez at first today. Fielders at DH. Avila behind the plate. So the fear of a concussion with him is over, and Sanchez is on the mound. Here's Ichiro. Ichiro 8 hits away from 4,000 combined between the States and Japan.
That's amazing. 4,000 hits, no matter where you get them. Last night, Ichiro and Gardner, in fact, it was the top of the order. Cano really had a big game for the Yankees. Ichiro had himself 3 hits and a run scored. Of course, Gardner had the game winner. Cano had the big 2-run double.
Chopped to first base. And Sanchez covers to get Ichiro. Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. 81 degrees, 45% humidity. The wind 10 miles per hour. It's mostly sunny and there's no chance of rain. So that's good news. Here's Cano. All 3 Yankee batters at the top of the lineup have 4-game hitting streaks. Cano had a big 2-run double, which we showed you at the start. That gave the Yankees a 3-0 lead yesterday, but they were not able to hold on to that. That one's fouled away.
Robbie's sitting on 199 career home runs. That's, you know, he wants to hit the number 200 at home. But most of his home runs this year actually come on the road. 14 of the 21, I believe, are away from Yankee Stadium.
One and two. Yankees miss Max Scherzer in this series, 17-1. But that really doesn't catch him a break. Porcello pitched well yesterday. You have Sanchez and you have Verlander tomorrow.
I think that 14 of 22 for Cano on the road.
This is what they're missing with Scherzer.
Not really.
Fifth pitcher wins 17 of his first 18 decisions in big league history, and he started the All-Star game at Citi Field.
Yeah, he pitched the day before the Tigers came to the Bronx against Cleveland and beat them.
2-2 to Cano.
He's just having a fantastic season.
Tries to pull an outside pitch and grounds it to second, and an easy 1-2-3 inning for Sanchez and the Tigers. We played one at the stadium. Detroit 1, Yankees nothing. You're watching Yankees baseball right here on the Yankee Entertainment and Sports Network. vehicle of the Yankees. We started it this way. What do you think of the streak Atlanta has put together while running away with the National League East? And here's a response. Gorgeous Steven. They're unstoppable right now, but playoffs is where it counts. We will see what happens. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius to keep the conversation going. They are unstoppable.
Oh, man, they are some kind of team.
But the Braves have had a history of dominating in the regular season, not getting it done in the postseason. Yankees beat them twice in the World Series in '96 and '99. Don Kelly takes outside.
'99 was of the sweep variety. Don Kelly came in the ball game last night, played some second base. Pitch hit, stayed in the game. He's actually started games at all three outfield positions. He's in left field today. He's also started at third base. So he's sort of like the Jim Leyland's one of the secret weapons, utility player. He's one of those guys that gets to play on Sunday. If somebody needs a day off, day game following a night game, you can plug him in anywhere in the outfield. Give Cabrera DH day, play Kelly at third.
That one is served into center field, and Gardner slides and just blocks it. Kelly makes a big turn. He'll stop at first with a single.
Just in case that ball got further away from Brett Gardner than it did, Kelly would have been able to go to second. As he makes a big turn that Michael talked about. The ball not all that far away as Gardner scrambles to come up with it. Kelly decides, well, I'll take the leadoff single. Got a little leather on it. Smothered it. And Kelly's on at first. Second inning in a row, the Tigers have had the leadoff man on.
Here's Alex Avila. There was some scare that he might have a concussion. Absorbed a foul tip behind the plate. They put him through all the tests. He was actually able to play last night, but they held him out, and here he is in the starting lineup today.
You know, the luxury is that he's not hitting all that well. 198 this year. He's a much better hitter than that. The luxury for Jim Leyland, Tigers have a 7-game lead in the Central. It's not as if, you know, you hold them out a day or two extra. And Brian Pena is playing very well as the backup catcher. We can take a look at the foul ball that actually led to the near concussion. And you can see that he was stunned. He had also taken a ball to the shoulder earlier in the ball game. So he's been beaten up a little bit lately behind the plate. Catching is a rough proposition, or it can be. Avila has good power to the opposite field. Every once in a while you catch a highlight of his home run and it goes to left center.
That's tipped into the glove of Bromine for a strikeout. Second strikeout for Phil.
Just gets a piece of it, but not enough. Target's low on the way. Pitch is actually a little towards the middle. Foul tip. You can see it roll around in the glove of Romine, but he maintains a handle on it. And it's out number one here in the second.
Here's Hernan Perez.
We talked about him a little bit last night. That last year this time he was in the Florida State League playing for Lakeland.
Well, at least he knew what Tiger spring training would be like. Oh. That's where they trained for many years.
It's well over 40, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. At Joker Marchand Park.
east of Tampa on, was it I-4? I believe so.
Count 1-1. One nothing Tigers, a triple by Austin Jackson to open the game, and he scored on Torrey Hunter's fly ball, sac fly to center field. Here in the second, runner on first with one out, 1-1 count.
Perez is out of Venezuela, and former Tiger Carlos Guillen now has a academy down in Venezuela. So you can imagine a lot of those players are kind of maybe steered towards signing with the Detroit Tigers. Of course, Guillen, former Tiger infielder, first baseman, DH, second baseman. Had to retire somewhat prematurely because of knee problems, but opened up a baseball academy in his native Venezuela.
Count 2-2. Hughes working very, very slowly today. Taking a lot of time between pitches. Right in on the hands. A lot of people questioned Joe Girardi today, why no Alex Rodriguez in the lineup, and he said it's a feel thing. He said there's no particular plan. He said the rain delay yesterday, game ended late, day game following a night game, first time we'd had that with him. You know, the guy is coming off an injury. He said I don't want to push him and get him injured again. He said so I just sat him down and he'll play tomorrow. So much talk yesterday was about what type of reception that he would receive, and Alex did not talk after the game yesterday, but he did today, and said he was really pleased with the reception that he got from the crowd. It was about 50-50 when he was introduced in the first inning, and it went downhill from there when Alex struck out 3 times, but you can see the crowd wanted him to do well. Also, Joe might have tipped his hand a little bit in the 9th inning when he brought in Nix to play third base. Yeah. And you know, he tried to diffuse that today and said, well, I don't want to wear Alex out. Well, taking him out in the 9th inning, exactly, not saving him much. And I just think that Alex right now does not have great lateral movement at third. Joe said if I didn't think he could play third, I wouldn't start him or I'd DH him. I think he could play third. But the fact that he took him out in the 9th inning does tell you something. And it wasn't an injury removal. Swing and a miss. Perez swings for the breaking ball.
Yeah, Perez had a pretty good at bat there until this last pitch where Phil Hughes, Perez had fouled off several fastballs on the outer half. This one a little further away. It's a breaking ball. He couldn't quite get to it, at least to spoil it. So Phil Hughes and Austin Romine, the catcher, recognizing that he's chasing pitches over the outside court. Let's move it a little further outside. And Perez is the 3rd strikeout for Phil Hughes this afternoon.
Here's Jose Iglesias. 0-1. Came over from the Red Sox in a 3-way deal. The Tigers knew that they were going to lose Johnny Peralta to a 50-game suspension, a biogenesis suspension. They pick up a better glove than they had in Peralta with more range, but they obviously lost some power and productivity in the lineup, although Iglesias certainly got off to a hot start with the Red Sox. He's cooled down considerably. The 0-2. 1-2. But Kenny mentioned yesterday the Tigers never had a problem with the ball hit to Peralta in a big spot. They knew if the ball was hit to him, sure-handed, good arm, just didn't have great range. But they didn't mind the trade-off for what he gave them offensively. Well, they are really building up uses of pitch count. He's at 47 right now.
Yeah, pitches are fouled off. Can't quite put hitters away. Even one of the strikeouts he got, Avila fouled it into the glove of Romine. And I think that's the difference between Phil Hughes a few years ago. That fastball had a little extra jump to it. Swing and a miss, strike three, you're gone. Now the pitches are fouled off. He has to continue pitching to the same hitter.
And then you look at the guys opposing Sanchez. Opponents have swung and missed on 28% of their swings. And that's the fourth highest rate in Major League Baseball. And Phil doesn't get a lot of swings and misses, especially on two strikes.
Yeah, but I think the difference between the two is, and Sanchez pitches well to all four quadrants of the strike zone. Up and in, up and away, down. So he moves the ball around, and hitters can't lay in one area.
That one is blooped into right field. It's a base hit in front of Ichiro. So Avila, but check that. Kelly will go to third, and Iglesias reaches on the single.
He had one hit here last night, went 1 for 3, and he too fought off a lot of pitches like Perez did in front of him, but Perez struck out eventually. And this is the same pitch. The Yankees tried the same thing here. Phil Hughes with the breaking ball. This one was not quite far enough away. Not the best of swings for Iglesias, but still picks himself up a base hit to keep the inning going and keep that pitch count climbing.
And also, the more two-strike pitches you foul off, the better chance the pitcher has of making a mistake.
Eventually he will.
And he's had this problem, particularly his last two starts. He's thrown an average of 24.5 pitches an inning. So he's over that right now. And there's a strike, 0-2. It's almost uncanny. And it's not an insignificant issue, because if you're going to throw 52 pitches in 2 innings, you're not going to be around in the 6th.
Now, I think a few starts ago, I don't know if this is still true, but isn't it Phil Hughes who had the most pitches fouled off with 2 strikes in the league? I know that Brett Gardner, from a hitting standpoint, leads the league in that category, fouling pitches off with 2 strikes. But I think it's Phil Hughes that is the pitcher that has more pitches fouled off once he gets 2 strikes on a batter than any pitcher in the league.
Could not hold up on that one, so Jackson strikes out, and Hughes gets out of a jam. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left. We go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. It's the Tigers 1, the Yankees nothing here on Yes. 2-0. Hughes has thrown a lot of pitches, but he's held the Tigers down to that just 1 run. Now the middle of the Yankee order, Soriano, Granderson, and Nunez against Sanchez. Soriano with 1,999 hits in his career. And that one is grounded to third. Cabrera gets Soriano for the first out.
Yep.
Time Warner Cable customers, you won't have to miss a game again. Now that you can watch live Yes Network Yankee games on your PCs or laptops with Time Warner Cable. So get a full season of live Yankees games on the go for just $29.99. And if you're a Time Warner Cable customer, go to yesnetwork.com to get more information and subscribe now.
Before the game, Michael, you and I were talking with Rod Allen, who's the analyst on the Tigers broadcast. He was talking about Sanchez and his ability to throw to the 4 quadrants of the strike zone.
There's a ground ball to first, knocked down by Martinez, flips to Sanchez for the second out.
And that means he's able to place the ball up and in, up and away, down and in, and down and away, and so on and so forth. Make good pitches. But he also explained that when Sanchez was coming through the Boston Red Sox organization, he would watch pitchers like Pedro Martinez and Greg Maddux on TV. And of course, Maddux, of course, one of the best control pitchers ever. And Pedro Martinez was more than just a power pitcher. And he watched them and how they moved the ball around within the strike zone to get people out. And although Maddux was not a big strikeout pitcher, he could get a good strikeout when he needed one because he could move the ball around. So Sanchez, at that time, was at 90 through 97 miles an hour, but he learned how to pitch by watching the better pitchers.
He also felt that when he threw 97, 98, he was really tired out after 4 innings. So watching Pedro subtract off pitches, that allowed him to conserve some energy. And that's a clear example, Kenny, why some guys, when they pitch out of the bullpen, throw 97. When they start, they throw 93.
Yeah.
And we see that with Phil Hughes. When he was a reliever in 2009, he was throwing the upper 90s.
You see, but from a pitcher's standpoint, if you're in the major leagues, you either want to be a starting pitcher or a closer. That's it. You get money at the end and you get money at the beginning. In the middle, yeah, you do okay. You do well. I'm not saying that the relief pitchers don't do as well, but that's, you make your money starting ball games or at the end.
Count still 1-2.
So that's why when you see pitchers working out of the bullpen, they want to be starting pitchers. This is Sanchez's first ever start at the new Yankee Stadium.
Grounded to short. Iglesias is there. And the Yankees go down again 1-2-3. So 6 up, 6 down over the first 2 innings. We go to the third, 1-0. 14th when the Yankees take on the Angels. The first 18,000 guests in attendance are going to receive a Yankees luggage tag courtesy of the parking spot. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. Visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. So Phil has 54 pitches through 2 innings. Sanchez 20 pitches through 2 innings. And the Lincoln scoreboard shows the Tigers with a 1-0 lead. And also, Kenny, Hughes has been on the mound for 25 minutes. Sanchez for 7.
You know, time of possession is not a good thing in baseball as opposed to football. In that regard.
Funny stat on the board in center field, Ken. I don't know how they get this. That Hunter has robbed approximately 40 home runs in his major league career. Who is keeping track of that at Elias?
The 40 ticked off hitters, maybe some more than once. I think the famous one was in the All-Star game against Barry Bonds.
Yeah. Bonds lifted him up.
Yeah. Torrey Hunter, 9 Gold Gloves. 9 Gold Gloves in a row. They just every year they just say who's getting the other 2 as the outfielders.
And he has willingly moved to another position. I mean, he was a great center fielder.
We got younger legs out there. First in Anaheim with Peter Borgios and Mike Trout, and then here in Detroit with Austin Jackson.
Made the All-Star team this year as well, 5th time. Fly ball center field. Gardner comes in to make the play. We mentioned earlier how Cabrera changes the way he hits for the ballparks in which he hits. And in Yankee Stadium, you could see that. He's had 8 home runs here. Let's see, I want to get this right. Yep. 8 home runs, and he's had 4 to right field, 1 to center, and 3 to left.
Made the adjustment.
Yeah. That one is drilled deep to left field. Home run number 9. See ya. The magic wand of Miguel Cabrera gives the Tigers a 2-0 lead.
So this is his 4th one to left field. That's his 5th career home run off Phil Hughes. Now we're going to take a look at these 2 pitches during this at-bat. The first one was inside, and it looked to me like he was trying to hit the ball to right field with power. The target's low and away, and he missed it. He fouled it off. He got a good pitch to hit. Now Phil Hughes is thinking, now we're going to move it inside. And maybe because he missed the first one, because he was looking in here all along. That's not even a strike. That was a ball. It was inside, and he jacks it out of the ballpark. I'm saying he was looking inside that hole at bat.
You know, that was not a bad pitch at all, Kenny.
Not at all. And if you look at it, you can see it's off the plate. It would have been ball 1. Instead, Tigers have another run. He was looking inside that hole. That's why he missed the first pitch and fouled it off, because he was looking in.
And that's what Girardi was talking about. He's not just a guy who's going up there and swinging. He has a plan at the plate. Knows exactly what he wants to do. And sometimes he will trick a pitcher into throwing a pitch the way he wants him to.
And that's exactly what happened. That's his 35th home run of the year, second in the American League.
Now has 22 hits and 54 at bats here at the new stadium. That's 407.
That was a rocket too, man. Getting out of here in a hurry.
Popped up. Nunez makes the play. Now, Girardi actually managed Cabrera for that 1 year we mentioned with the Marlins. And here is Joe talking about Cabrera making the adjustments and having a plan.
He has a lot of talent, but I think it's his plan. His plan. He understands what he needs to do each at bat. And he knows how pitchers are going to approach him. He adapts to that. He adapts to ballparks. You know, you look at this place, and he's going to try to go to right field a lot of times. And, I mean, here's a guy that's, you know, you look at him, he's not on the end of the bat. He's not swinging as hard as he can. He's fouling off tough pitches. He's prolonging at bats. He just really has a good idea what he wants to do and what people are doing to him.
He showed it in that at bat. Because you mentioned, Kenny, he was going for a home run to right field on the first pitch and then figured that Hughes was going to think, okay, he's looking outside. That's a foul ball.
Yeah, that was a pitch to hit the right field, and he didn't do it. And my feeling is he was looking inside all along. And this pitch is not a strike. Look at him bring those elbows in so he can get the barrel of the bat to the ball. Make the bat shorter. Go to the shorter distance, and man, he's really good. You very rarely see him off balance on his swing. Just perfect balance. Tremendous hitter. You're looking at one of the all-time hitters in Major League Baseball. And I'm sure his manager and his teammates really appreciate him on a daily basis. Because as you said, he's playing hurt right now. He's only 75%.
And Leland asked the doctors and the trainers, if I play him, can he get worse? And they said no. He said, okay, I'll play him. (0-2) count on Victor Martinez. That one is drilled to right field, and it's foul.
Well, the Tigers have won the division 2 years in a row. They have a good lead this year. It looks like they might repeat for the third consecutive year. But they did it last year without this guy, who's a very productive hitter. You know, he's not able to catch anymore because of the bad knees and knee surgery. But today he's playing first base, and that gives Prince Fielder a half a day off.
Seems like the most problem Cabrera has is dealing with all the necklaces.
I get tangled up running around the bases.
Swing and a miss. Martinez down on strikes. But the Tigers get another run. And they do it the way they usually do it. Right in the middle of it is Miguel Cabrera. Takes an inside pitch and drives it over the fence and left. His 35th home run, a 2-0 Tiger lead. Here's your chance to celebrate the last season of a true Yankee great, Mariano Rivera, by sending him a thank you for all of the memories he's given us. Just go to AT&TMoments.com. 2-0 lead for the Tigers and Sanchez. And you see that on the Lincoln scoreboard. 6 up, 6 down for the Yankees over the first 2 innings. It'll be Overbay, Nix, and Romine in the third. There's a strike. Tigers signed Sanchez to a free agent deal over the winter. They signed him on December 14th. 5 years, $80 million. And he also has an option for a 6th year at $16 million for that year. And a lot of people raise their eyebrows. You gave that to Sanchez, but he certainly pitched to that level with a 2.58 ERA.
What a country.
Soft ground ball to short. Iglesias has a good arm, and he gets Overbay for the first out.
Outside of Gardner's fly ball to left field to get things started for the Yankees, everything else has been a ground ball out. Now Sanchez, earlier this year, as we look at his resume, signed by the Red Sox, traded to the Marlins, threw a no-hitter against the Diamondbacks, and went from the Marlins to the Tigers. And as Michael said, they signed him to a big deal. Now, earlier this year, April 26th, he struck out 17 Atlanta Braves in an interleague game. And that's the record for an interleague game. 17 strikeouts. Anibal Sanchez.
And if you're a good pitcher, you got a good chance of ringing up strikeouts against the Braves. They're a great team, but they do swing and miss a lot.
Now, in last night's game, Detroit Tigers pitching staff became the first pitching staff in the major leagues this year to go over 1,000 strikeouts. And you figure with Sanchez and Verlander, Scherzer, Rick Porcello, not really a big strikeout pitcher, but those other guys can strike people out.
There's that game against Atlanta Kenny's talking about on April 26th. Just one walk, too. And there's a strikeout as Nix down looking. And Nix doesn't like it, barking at Jerry Meals. I also think it's significant, Kenny. They picked up Sanchez last year in July. Ball tailed back over the outside corner. And that gave them kind of a free look to see, because you don't know a player unless he's in your clubhouse and he's with you every day. And they decided we can invest this kind of money in this guy.
Well, not only that, you know, you go into postseason too, like the Tigers, and you see, how's he pitch down the stretch? How's he pitching in the big games?
Count 1-0 to Romine.
I think the only issue I have with the Tigers starting pitch, they're all right-handed. They don't have a lefty in there. Might make a difference against certain teams.
Grounded and grabbed there by Iglesias. Gets to his feet, fires to first. What a scoop by Martinez to finish off the play and take a base hit away from Romine. Are we talking about Iglesias' glove? You see it right here, ranging into the hole, backhanding, getting up, firing, and then the backhanded scoop by Martinez to end the inning. Quiz. Call 1-866-NY-QUIT for free help today. In 2012, the Tigers became the third team since 1969 to sweep the championship series and get swept in the World Series. Who were the other two teams? We'll find out. What a play by Iglesias.
Oh, my goodness.
Kelly will lead it off. And there's a strike.
You know, there are people there, and they might say, well, Johnny Peralta might not have gotten that ball, but Johnny Peralta, the veteran that he is, might have been shaded towards the hole a little bit more. Iglesias certainly has more range. Here it is. You can see he's playing more or less straight up. Now he has to really range. Lays out, gets up quickly. And on the other end, nice play by Victor Martinez, who doesn't get to play all that much first base. There he is playing kind of straight up. He has to close the hole. Does so. Excellent play.
Kelly, one off the hands and loops it into right field. It's a foul ball. Benjamin Moore scoreboard. 2-0. Tigers over the Yanks. And that really works today, you know,
yeah,
Kenny, because Troy Benjamin is producing the game and John Moore is directing it. So it's a true Benjamin Moore scoreboard.
Yeah, they're just going to leave that up the whole day. They even bring their own signs with them to the ballpark.
Well, this will be Phil's 80th pitch of the day.
Okay.
27 each of the first 2 innings, 21 last inning, and 5 so far. Ground ball to second. Cano gets Kelly for the first time.
Yeah, we talked about Phil Hughes, and in fact, he gives up a lot of home runs, and I think sometimes pitchers who give up homers, they pitch to avoid giving up the home runs. They're very careful, and they miss and they miss and miss, and that's another way to get your pitch count elevated.
Well, with all the pitches, still just 2-0.
Yeah.
Here's Avila. The 2-1.
It's the second time in this at bat that Romine has taken a foul tip. See where he takes this one. Did it get the mask? Oh, yes, it did.
How is it possible that at one point in baseball history, catchers didn't wear masks?
Well, when the team picture came about, you knew which ones were the catchers.
And there was a time when hockey goalies didn't wear masks.
Yeah, and catchers didn't wear shin guards either.
Breaking ball, strike three. Avila down looking. He strikes out for the second time.
6 strikeouts for Phil Hughes. He's had at least one in every inning, including striking out the side in the second. Breaking ball, back door. And Avila caught looking. Good pitch. Knee high, outside corner. Hughes has not walked anybody today. 6 strikeouts, no walks.
The 0-1. Looped into shallow left, but backing up and making the catch is Nunez. And Hughes has a 1-2-3 inning in the fourth. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Tigers 2, Yankees nothing. Quiz. In 12, the Tigers became the third team since 1969 to sweep the championship series and get swept in the World Series. Who were the other two teams? Let's see. The Rockies and the A's. Wow. Yankees looking for their first base runner against Sanchez, and Gardner shows bunt, takes inside. There's the Troy John scoreboard. Count 2-0. Shattered bat, blooped into right field, and dunks in for a base hit. So the Yankees have their first hit of the game.
Well, Gardner had such a big night last night and really was a catalyst to the Yankees offense. In fact, 3 times he led off an inning, and the 3 times he got on base each and every time. A walk and a couple of hits. He scored 2 runs. He'll give away a bat for a base hit anytime. You can always get a new bat. You can't always get a base hit. Well, let's see if something happens for the Yankees here in this inning.
There's a strike to Suzuki. Tap back to Sanchez. There's one. And they throw it past Martinez, but Ichiro will stay put.
I'll tell you what, Gardner put all kinds of pressure on Iglesias down at second base. In fact, he got a good piece of him. Well, Ichiro really flying down the line. We mentioned last night, he might be 39 years old, but he has 29-year-old legs. Trying to avoid the double play. Hopper right back to Sanchez. Here comes Iglesias. Here comes Gardner. Puts the pressure on him. The throw is wild. Trying to break up two. Iglesias, boy, the throw just went haywire. And almost into the camera well. There's the pressure. Those middle infielders can feel those speedy runners. In fact, they know who's on first when the play, before the play begins. You can see him. Almost got me.
Here's Cano, grounded to second in the first. Count 1-0. There are some pitches lately that Cano just gives away that he's taking. Right there, he had no intention of swinging whatsoever, so the count 2-0. He just rests the bat on his shoulder. And there's a strike.
I think he's open for business now. 2 balls and a strike. Looking for something he can drive. Outfield just about straight away, fairly deep.
Runner goes. Throw to second. Stolen base for Ichiro.
Well, top 2 hitters in the Yankee lineup today, also their top 2 base stealers. As Ichiro is going to pick up number 17 on the season, only been caught 3 times. And you can see that right foot get in there ahead of the tag of Iglesias. And now the Yankees have a runner in scoring position.
Line drive, a base hit to left field. Ichiro had a hold up. And the ball is flipped into Cabrera. So a base hit for Cano, and the Yankees have the tying runs on.
Second time through the order for the Yankees. And they picked up 2 hits here in the 4th inning after having none through the first 3 innings. Ball almost directly at Don Kelly in left field. Ichiro can advance 90 feet. Cano open for business on a 3-1 pitch. And that goes as a hit with a runner in scoring position, even though the fact is the Yankees did not score a run here. And that'll set it up for Alfonso Soriano, still looking for hit number 2,000.
Soriano has said how great it would be for him to get his 2,000th hit in the same uniform of the team where he got his first hit.
So far he's partying like it's 1999. Just want to move on.
Oh, 2.
In all the years of baseball have been played, only 272 players have reached the 2,000 hit mark. And approximately 10% of those players go on to get 3,000 hits. Maybe a little more than 10%. So it's not as many players as you think that have gotten as far as Soriano has been and about to be down the road as far as hits are concerned.
Hammered foul.
And there are 16 active players with 2,000 hits. Soriano trying to become the 17th.
One and two. Soriano 5 for 27 lifetime against Sanchez. Saw each other a lot in the National League. Swing and a miss. Chases a pitch way out of the zone.
We talked about Sanchez's ability to move the ball around within the strike zone and just out of it. And this one's just out of it. Little cutter or a slider, and Soriano chases, and that 2,000 hit's going to have to wait maybe till his next at bat, or at least that far. And there's the wild swing and a miss that Michael was talking about. That's out number 2.
There's a strike. One and one.
Granderson, of course, came up with the Tigers. Played 674 games for Detroit.
That's going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
One and two. Big opportunity for the Yankees. They don't want this to slip away. And right now, 1 and 2. And it slips away. He tips it into the glove of Avila. 2 strikeouts with runners on first and third and 1 man out. First Soriano, and then Granderson goes down. We go to the 5th. 2-0 Detroit. A bit later on. We go to the 5th here. Yankees waste an opportunity in the bottom of the 4th inning. Still trail 2-0. And it's going to be 9-1-2 in the Tigers' order against Phil Hughes. Iglesias will start it off. He singled in the 2nd inning. So 89 pitches for the Yankee right-hander. There's a strike. He throws first pitch strikes, I'll tell you that. And every time you look up, he's up 0-2 in the count. Now 1-1. 14 first pitch strikes from today.
Out of the 18 batters that he's faced. Well, Iglesias at the plate. Now, we've talked about his glove work and his ability to make plays in the field. But he actually leads all American League rookies with hits, with 77. And in multi-hit games with 22. So he's holding his own on this side of the ball. He's kind of done very well against the Yankees this year. It includes today. He's got one of those late afternoon batting averages.
That one's popped up. Way up there as Romine makes a play. Introducing the all-new 2014 GMC Sierra. Incredible thinking in the form of a truck. Visit gmc.com for details. So Austin Jackson led off the 1st inning with a triple, Kenny.
I saw it, yeah.
So then I started to think, I wonder who it was the last time the Tigers had a guy lead off a game in New York with a triple.
Cobb, somebody like that. No, was he a leadoff hitter? Uh-oh.
That one is drilled deep to left field. Going back, Granderson turning, looking. See ya. Austin Jackson's having some series here in New York. 3 doubles yesterday. Now a triple and a home run, and the Tigers lead 3-0.
Jackson, his first time up with that triple Michael was talking about, increased his hitting streak to 6 straight games. He's having a heck of a road trip for these Detroit Tigers. He is 12 for 30 on this trip. As Hughes sees this one just make it into the seats in left field. For Jackson, his 9th home run of the year. And it had the sound, and it has the distance. And the Tigers have a 3-0 lead.
Just made it over the wall, but counts nonetheless.
A triple you were talking about?
Last time a Tiger hitter tripled to lead off a game against the Yankees in New York. You have to go back to June 24th of 1949 when Eddie Lake did it against Allie Reynolds. Here's Torrey Hunter. That means Ron LaFleur never did it. Chet Lemon never did it. The great Eddie Lake. Count 1-1.
Eddie Lake. His name had never come up in any conversation I've been around until just now.
Yeah, I don't notice that name at all. I don't recall it. There's a base hit to center field. Torrey Hunter with a single. And the Yankee bullpen's getting busy. Preston Claiborne. And you can see Girardi wants Romine to go out and stall. With Cabrera up, probably doesn't want Hughes facing him, so he just wants to get Claiborne some more throws. Dating back to last year, Miguel Cabrera 7 for his last 7 against Hughes, and Girardi doesn't want to risk 8 for 8. So the crowd cheers, knowing that Girardi's going to get the pitcher. And Phil probably going to not be received too warmly now.
Favorite Willie Randolph for a new GMC Presents Center Stage. The 6-time world champion reflects on his storied playing days with the Yankees and his managerial stint with the New York Mets. It's a new Center Stage Wednesday at 11, only on Yes. Willie Randolph, one of the all-time great Yankees, on Center Stage with Michael Kay. This call to the bullpen brought to you by AT&T. Preston Claiborne comes in relief of Phil Hughes with 1 out and 1 run in here in the 5th inning. And Miguel Cabrera, the always daunting Cabrera, at the plate.
And the first pitch by Claiborne is upstairs. Another rough outing for Hughes. He's given up just 3 runs, but again, the Yankees have had to go to the bullpen early. Runner at first, his responsibility. One and one. That's an unbelievable stat, Kenny. 7 for his last 7 against today.
Well, Joe Girardi knew it. Here's another one for you. His last 18 and 2/3 innings here at Yankee Stadium, Phil Hughes has given up 8 home runs.
I think the last time he started at home, I don't know the stat right now, since the place opened, he allowed 66 home runs at home and 22 on the road.
Wow. 3-1?
Mm-hmm. Those numbers obviously have gone up. I'm just not sure that this is the perfect ballpark for a fly ball pitcher.
No. Especially during the day games when the ball really flies.
Two and two. So the numbers are updated right now, Kenny, and since the place opened in 2009, Hughes has allowed 70 home runs here and 29 away. Wow. Being very careful, which is smart with Cabrera. But the thing that's dangerous in this Tiger lineup, if you're really careful with Cabrera, Fielder makes you pay. Now, Fielder's not the same hitter as Cabrera, but he's pretty darn good. Runner goes, and that one is skied into left field. It falls in front of Granderson. He fires into third, and he gets Hunter diving back to second.
Yeah, Hunter was thinking about going to third base, but he had a misstep, and well, he's going to have a smile on his face when he's looking over towards the dugout. He's very close to hitting the turf on his way to third base, and it would have been an easy out as he scrambled back to second. He's off on the 3-2 pitch. The pitch is hit into left field. Making the turn to third, spins out. Now has to regain and head back to second, and gets back safely. Here's another look. Miguel Cabrera now 3 for 3 with this base hit to left field. Here's Granderson's throw to third, which would have been in plenty of time, and Hunter has to go back to second base. And you were talking about Prince Fielder, and we do have a hitter scouting report on him. He is a kingmaker, and Prince a kingmaker, and I'll explain that. As we look at the 3 points, he's a 5-time All-Star. That's the last one. But he's a kingmaker in this regard. Last year, he came over to Detroit. His first year, he batted behind Miguel Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera was the MVP in the American League. 2 years ago, he's in Milwaukee. He batted behind Ryan Braun. Ryan Braun was the MVP in the National. We talk about hitters protecting one another in the lineup. He's the kingmaker as far as that's concerned.
So Fielder was the other help that Braun had.
I see where you're going. And as far as the streaking is concerned, Michael, you pointed this out last night. Fielder is now playing in his 458th straight game. That's the longest streak in the major leagues.
Count 1-2.
But yeah, I don't think you can overestimate the ability of Prince Fielder to provide protection for the hitters in front of him. I mean, he's in the top 5 in the league in runs batted in.
And think about how tough that is, because 35 times the guy in front of him's cleaned it up.
Yeah, the bases are empty when you come up there. Well, this is a young Prince. It's Terry Francona coaching for the Tigers. It's young Prince Fielder, the Prince of Detroit. Maybe not Bel Air, but he was hitting from both sides of the plate in those days.
I remember him always around with Cecil, and he was a huge 13-year-old.
And he was hitting balls in the seats at 13. Yeah, Tiger Stadium was well renowned for being a good hitter's park. Now, I think his father, Cecil's the last one to hit a ball on the roof in left field. At Old Tiger Stadium, which has since now been torn down. All you wanted to do in that park is keep the ball out of center field. It was 440 to center. But if you could pull it, it was close in the gaps. You had the inviting upper decks in left and right field particularly close.
Reggie found the light standards.
Yeah. Everything was painted dark green, so it was a good hitting background.
2-2. Strike 3. Good pitch by Claiborne. Fielder down looking.
Best pitch of the at bat thrown by Preston Claiborne, and it was a beauty. Romine did not have to move the glove for call. Strike 3. That's Jerry Meals ringing up Prince Fielder. Knee high outside corner.
Here's Victor Martinez. 1 through 5 in this lineup, not that easy to navigate. Each one makes you work. And a strike.
Tigers best in hitting, best with runners in scoring position, second best in the league in pitching.
Serve down the left field line, giving chase as Granderson. He can't get there. It goes into the corner. Hunter scores. Cabrera will stop at third. It's a double for Martinez. It's a 4-0 Tiger lead.
Well, Michael, you called it. 1 through 5. Very difficult. We've had a home run, a single, a strikeout, another single from the top 5 hitters in this lineup in this inning. Victor Martinez going the other way, chasing Granderson into the corner. Miguel Cabrera not running well, has to stop at third base. And Martinez has himself a double. These guys can really hit. That's another hit with runners in scoring position.
The big spot in this game right now, 4-0, certainly not insurmountable, but you got to get Kelly to keep those runners there. Down 0-1. One through 5 so far today, 7 for 14 and a sac fly. 0-2 on Kelly.
Yeah, Jackson, Hunter, Cabrera, and Martinez have each driven in a run.
Count 1-2. Romine wants to talk with Claiborne.
Let's see if Romine actually gives a sign here. They're verbally talking it over. You got Victor Martinez at second, who's a catcher by trade. As you called it, Michael, a big part of the ball game right here. You don't want to give the Tigers any more runs this inning. Nope, no sign. Let's go get him.
And that one is looped into center field. It is a base hit. Cabrera scores. Martinez scores. That's a big hit for Don Kelly. 2 ribbies. It's 6-0 Detroit.
Very explosive team. It's like they have a bunch of hitters who want to be up with men on base and a chance to do something. And Don Kelly, that is not a bad pitch. Sinking down and away. He reaches out, slaps it back through the middle. Not his best swing. Got just enough wood on it to get it over the infield in front of the outfield. And the Tigers add 2 more. Kelly, the only hitter on the team today with 2 runs batted in.
Here's Avila. Pitch outside.
Tigers now have 10 hits in this game.
One and two. Another rough outing for Hughes. Strike three. Avila down looking. But the Tigers score 4 runs, and Austin Jackson hurts the Yankees again. He has been all over them in this series. He had 4 hits yesterday, including 3 doubles. Today, a triple and a home run. The ex-Yankee coming back to haunt his old team. Joe Girardi Show, as the skipper talks about the Yankees' bolstered lineup with the return of Granderson and A-Rod. Don't miss a new Joe Girardi Show tomorrow at 5, only on Yes. Now Sanchez has a 6-0 lead. And Nunez leads off and takes low and inside 1-0. Sanchez was on the bench for a while. Let's see if he's still sharp. He's given up just 2 hits, both of them in the 4th inning. Yankees threatened right there. 1st and 3rd, 1 man out, but Soriano struck out, Granderson struck out, and they couldn't plate a run. At that point, it was 2-0, and then the Tigers put a 4 spot on the board in the 5th.
Yeah, Sanchez got tough when he had to in the 4th inning. Up to that point, he'd been cruising.
Nunez cracks one into left center field. It's a base hit, splits the outfielders, and it goes to the wall. Nunez will stop at second with a double. Leadoff double.
Well, we saw something a little different there. First of all, the well-hit ball by Nunez to the gap in left center field. But secondly, doesn't lose his helmet, Michael. His helmet actually made it to second base with him. I don't know if he we had to tuck on it to make sure it didn't come off.
It's bobbing up there.
Yeah, it's bobbing and weaving, but it stayed on. Now, for fans who don't know it, when Nunez runs the bases, usually his helmet stays somewhere between first and home or first and second.
Overbay takes outside.
And Nunez's 10th double of the year. Now, one of the all-time greatest players, Willie Mays, was famous for running out from beneath his cap. But what he would do on at home plate, he'd wear a helmet. But he got on base, he would take the helmet off. You had the ability to, in those days, you had the liberty, you could take it off and not wear it on the bases. And when he'd start running, his cap would fly off all the time. And that was sort of like his trademark, along with hitting home runs and all the other stuff you need to be a great player.
Count 2-2 to Overbay. Overbay grounded to short in third. Sanchez retired the first 9 batters, and then Brett Gardner with a broken bat single to right field in the 4th inning. Gave them a base runner later in the inning. Cano with a single to left. That one is driven to right field. Hunter turns, looks, see ya! 2-run home run for Overbay. Yankees on the board. Tiger 6, Yankees 2.
Well, the Yankees opened their half of the 5th inning with 2 solidly hit balls. One by Nunez for a double, and Overbay. He took the previous pitch for a called strike, and this next one seemed like it was in this very same area, but this time he was waiting. And he touches off his 13th home run of the year.
Well, we told you that Kelly at bat was big. But you don't know if that home run would have happened if they don't get the extra 2 runs. Nix fouls it back.
Now, we told you Sanchez doesn't give up many of them, but he gives one up here. That's only the 6th home run he's allowed all season long. Now, he did spend some time on the DL, but even so, we told you he came in with a rate of 1 home run every 23 2/3 innings. And that's the lowest rate among American League qualifiers this year. In fact, until this inning, there only been 1 fly ball out, and that was off the bat of Gardner, leading off the game in the 1st. Everything else had been either ground outs or strikeouts.
And Nix down on strikes for the 2nd time. First time looking, this time swinging. So that'll bring up Romine, who was robbed of a single to end the 3rd inning. Beautiful diving play by Iglesias in the hole on the left side.
For most of the season, Romine has struggled, but lately he's been swinging the bat much better. He actually had a 5-game hitting streak broken in San Diego on Wednesday. And he's 11 for his last 29. So this is the best he's been swinging the bat all season long, including hit his first major league home run in San Diego in front of family and friends.
2. And he struck him out. So Sanchez gets angry after the home run, strikes out the next 2 batters.
Very effective pitch, that last one, a strikeout pitch, just above the riding on the fringes of the strike zone. Just above it. You can see the flash of the glove by Vila. He wanted to pitch up out of the zone. That's where he got it. And Romine chased it.
Here's Gardner. And a strike. Another strike, 1 and 2.
You're right, Michael. He got upset after the double and a home.
He just doesn't give up home runs either, so really woke him up. Maybe got a little stale on the bench too. Long inning.
Yeah. You were right earlier when you talked about people raised eyebrows when the Tigers gave him a, you say $80 million deal?
$80 million for 5 years.
Nice piece of change. Looked like he made up a pitch there. We haven't seen that all day.
And I'm sure those eyebrows went up a bit more when he seemed like he had a little shoulder issue earlier.
He's bounced back nicely. 1-1 in his career against the New York Yankees.
2-2. Grounded to first. And that will do it. But the Yankees do get 2 runs against Sanchez. With a runner on second, Overbay went yard. For him, it was his 13th home run of the year. And now it's a 6-2 Tiger lead. All right, we go to the 6th inning here at the stadium, and it's the Tigers 6 and the Yankees 2. Middle game of this 3-game set. Yankees won yesterday 4-3 in 10 innings, breaking the Tigers' 12-game winning streak. And Perez fouls it away. Claiborne still on the mound. Ground ball at third. Nix gets Perez for the first out. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of tonight's game. Inyesmo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Great play by Iglesias, taking a base hit away from Romine. A home run for Miguel Cabrera. And he remains red hot. And Lyle Overbay gets the Yankees on the board with a 2-run shot in the bottom of the 5th inning. Back in real time at 6-2. Iglesias takes inside from Claiborne.
You know, the way the Tigers have been playing, what'd you say? Last night the Yankees broke their 12-game winning streak. They got a lead again today. Can they get much better? Omar Infante, remember, he's on the DL. He's coming back. He's a 300 hitter. So that could make this lineup even more dangerous.
Pours a fastball over for a strike, 3-1. And Iglesias thought that was ball 4, and that's not going to curry any favor with Jerry Meals.
We'll take a look at this one, but I'll tell you, anything close on this next one.
Grounded through for a base hit. So Iglesias with his 2nd hit of the afternoon.
I don't know about you, Michael. I've been impressed by him. And one of the young up-and-coming players in the league, a rookie. Hitting over 300. Started out with the Red Sox, so he leaves one first-place team, comes to another. Now he's going to get a chance to play.
There's Austin Jackson. Yankees have to figure out a way to get him out. In 2 games, he's gained 10 points on his average. Came into the series hitting .263. Now he's at .273. 4 hits yesterday and 2 today. There's Java. He certainly has had the hardest part of the cycle so far, a triple and a home run.
Yeah. 5 of his 6 hits have been for extra bases in this series. 3 doubles, a triple, and a home run.
And on 2-0, Joe Girardi has seen enough. 34 pitches for Claiborne. Not sure if he's going to take him out in the middle of the at-bat, but usually he makes the change. All right, so he doesn't take him out. When Claiborne first came up, all he did was throw strikes, didn't walk anybody. But he fell behind 3-0 on Iglesias, now 2-0 on Jackson, and maybe Girardi just said, hey, pound the zone. That's what got you here. There's a series Austin's had against the Yanks. Now 3-0. And also, you don't start walking 9-1 in this order and then have to put up with everybody else.
Yeah, I thought maybe it's just a school in session type of meeting, or Maybe just to check to see if he's okay.
Three and one. He's thrown a lot of pitches. 36 pitches, and he's been a short reliever for the Yanks. Usually an inning at a time, at the most 2. And Austin Jackson walks. And now Girardi seems poised, but still nothing as Jabba continues to throw. I think Jabba's ready.
Yep, here he comes.
There he goes. So a rough outing for Preston Claiborne. He gave up 3 hits in the 5th. He gives up a hit and a walk here in the 6th. And a young man who's been really outstanding for the Yankees struggles here on a Saturday afternoon, and Joe goes to Jabba. In part by Benjamin Moore for everything that matters. By your Tri-Honda dealers, hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2013 Accord. And by Heineken, open your world, enjoy responsibly. All right, so the Yankees go to Jabba Chamberlain, and he'll try to extinguish this fire. First and second, 1 man out, and Jabba's numbers, this is his 31st game, with a 4.76 ERA. And he'll face Torrey Hunter, who has a sac fly to center, then just a fly ball to center, and a single to center, and he scored a run. You can see by the game and the situation that Chamberlain's stock has certainly fallen in the bullpen, as he's coming in to try to keep it here at 6-2, and for Claiborne, a rare rough outing.
His command wasn't quite as sharp today as we've seen in the past. A lot of deep counts. And now Jabba Chamberlain coming on with 1 out here in the 6th inning and 2 men on.
We're in the 6th. It's 6-2 Tigers. Tigers with 11 hits, the Yankees with 4. Good slider, 0-1. Bounces another slider, and the count 1-1.
Yeah, we mentioned how the Tigers have hit well as a team with runners in scoring position, and Torrey Hunter's above the team average. .297 in these situations.
Hunter was with the Angels last year and actually wanted to stay with them. And he was told by Artie Moreno that they were up against their budget and they could not have increased their payroll anymore. That one's driven to deep right center. Going back, Gardner turning, looking. See ya! A 3-run home run for Torrey Hunter, and the Tigers lead 9-2. That ball just kept going and going. Gardner thought he had a beat on it, and it ends up in the Yankee bullpen.
Number 13 for Torrey Hunter. He's now driven in 4 runs in this game. And now he's over 300 with runners in scoring position. Up, out over the plate, drives it towards the bullpen and right center. He thinks he got enough of it. And he should know he's hit plenty of them, over 300 in his career. And it's over the 385 mark in deepest right center field. There's Gardner going back, and runs out of real estate.
Anyway, to finish up the Hunter story, Artie Moreno, the owner of the Angels, told him that they didn't have any more money. They couldn't sign him. He said, I understand, it's a business, I get it. And he ends up signing the Tigers. And then the Angels find $125 million under the mattress to sign Josh Hamilton. And Hunter said, I just would have wished that he would have told me the truth. Count 0-2 to Cabrera. The Yankees also made inquiries about Hunter. They liked his game and thought he'd be good in the clubhouse as well, but he ended up signing a 2-year deal with Detroit.
I think the Yankees offered him 1, right?
Yeah. They offered him a 1-year deal. And his son plays football at Notre Dame. He's going to be a freshman this year, so he gets to be closer to South Bend by being in Detroit. How about this, Kenny? They retired Miguel Cabrera. Fly ball to center.
He's out.
He is out.
A 3-for-4 afternoon working. The league's leading hitter.
It's amazing he can hit. You watch him walking around right now. I mean, he's really laboring just to walk to the dugout. Hits the fielder as a strike. Abdominal issue, hip pointer, the knees bothering him.
You know what? We should all feel that bad. The way he's going.
Count 0-2.
What would he be doing if he were completely healthy?
Amazing.
Can he do any more?
Line drive, a base hit for Fielder. That's his first base hit of the afternoon. Redirected a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, Tigers now with 13 hits in the game, and only 2 players in their lineup have not joined the party. Avila and Perez. Late arrival for Prince Fielder, but You can hear the music now.
Victor Martinez takes a fastball strike. In on the hands, popped up. Romine gives it a look, but it's over the screen. Fly ball, left center. Drifting over is Gardner, and he'll make the play for the final out of the sixth. But the Tigers score 3 more runs on one swing of the bat of Torrey Hunter. A 3-run shot gives the Tigers now a 9-2 lead. We go to the bottom of the sixth. We'll take a look at today's injury report brought to you by Montefiore Medical Center Inspired Medicine. Derek Jeter. He's on the 15-day DL. Went there on August 3rd with a strained calf, so still a whiles away from coming off. 4 for 19 in very limited action this season. He has been doing some throwing, but they haven't let him do anything running-wise yet. But he is following instructions closely. Ichiro with a fly ball to right field. Torrey Hunter comes in and then makes the play over his shoulder for the first out.
Well, he said didn't see that one very well. Yeah. When he was hitting, he saw it pretty well.
Here's Cano. He's 1 for 2. And a strike from Sanchez. You know, we showed the injury report with Derek. And he was asked today, are you confident that you're going to be ready to go after 15 days? And his quote was, I'm ready when I'm ready. So he played catch for the second straight day today. He also rode the bike, and he expects to run somewhat in the next couple of days. For a guy who's used to playing almost every day of his career, this has to really be difficult.
Awful. Just awful.
Broken bat and a ground ball to Martinez. Sanchez recovers to take the throw for the second out. He dodged the bat and somehow got to first base in time.
Off the end of the bat of Cano, and you could see Sanchez worried about the barrel hitting him, and then I have to recover and cover first base. It's part of my job, and he does so, and beats Cano for out number 2.
Cano kind of looked at the ball,
and then started to run it.
And that's why Sanchez was able to beat him. Here's Soriano. He is 0 for 2. 9-2 Tigers, bottom of the 6th. 1-0. Now 1-1. Oh, what a great catch by a fan just over the railing of the upper deck. Nice job. Leaned over and made the play. Now high fives all around.
We're in Soriano's number 2. Or number 12.
You ever catch a ball as a fan? In the stands?
No.
No?
I was sitting too far away.
Me too. Never got to the upper deck behind home plate. Last row. Three and 2.
I was sitting in a game in San Francisco, and I had better seats, and foul ball, and came to the lady just in front of me, and she was so happy. She was a lady. She holds the ball up near my face. She says, "You ever seen a ball this close?" And I said, "Yeah." Unfortunately.
3-2. And Soriano swings and misses. He is 0 for 3. The Yankees go down in order 1-2-3. We're going to go to the 7th. It's been all Tigers 9-2. Celebrating 11 years. Join the favorite mobile and connected devices and go to MLB.TV Premium. Visit MLB.TV today. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. We go to the 7th. Jabba came on to get the final 2 outs of the 6th, but also served up a 3-run home run to Torrey Hunter. He's still out there. Cadillac scoreboard, 9-2, Tigers lead.
Yeah, Hunter had a big 3-run homer, but as you mentioned, during the time that Kelly had that 2-run single with 2 outs in the 5th inning, that was a big hit. Made a 4-run lead a 6-run lead.
Kelly, Avila, and Perez. Fouled away. So another rough outing for Phil Hughes, and a lot of Yankee fans on Twitter, when you see them around the city, as a ground ball goes to Nix, they ask you, well, why do they keep running Phil Hughes out there? Why don't they just have another starter? And my answer is, well, who? Phelps is hurt, he's on the shelf. Pineda is hurt, he's on the shelf. Nuno is hurt, he's on the shelf. They don't have any other option right now. So these guys either have to straighten themselves out, or I don't know what they can do. There aren't, you can't go to the supermarket and go to the starters aisle. It's not that easy.
And plus, when you're going 4 1/3 or 2 2/3 like you did in San Diego, what does that do to your bullpen? And the Yankees are going into the final game of the series tomorrow, and they're facing Justin Verlander. They're going to need some length out of somebody. It's Andy Pettit's turn tomorrow.
Avila 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts.
What it does when you have to use your bullpen as much as you do, it really sets up a situation that affects the next day and then the next day. There's Verlander, who struggled a little bit for a while this year, but he seems to have turned around. He's 12-8.
That one is fisted out in the left field, a base hit for Avila. Well, let's check out the pitching matchup for tomorrow's game, brought to you by Verizon Fios, making life more entertaining with America's fastest, most reliable internet. That's powerful. You've got Verlander at 12-8, 3.50 against Andy, who has struggled 7-9, 4.71. Our coverage will begin at 12:30 with the pregame, and then right around 1:07 will be first pitch for that Sunday matchup, which right now looks as if it's going to be the rubber game of this 3-game set. There's Andy. Also, Verlander was on the ugly side of a verbal volley from Jack Clark. Jack Clark took aim at Albert Pujols and Justin Verlander on a radio show in St. Louis. Fly ball to center field. Gardner makes the play. And he said that he had spoken with Pujols' trainer 10 years ago, who said that Pujols uses steroids. And then he also said, look at Verlander. He said he used to throw 98 miles an hour. Now he throws 93. He said, I'm sure that he did it too. Well, Pujols is threatening to sue Clark. The trainer said, I never said that. Verlander said, how dare he say that? He said, my last game I was throwing 97, 98 miles an hour, and that St. Louis radio station fired Jack Clark and his co-host today.
You know, and it's interesting because Verlander at one time was throwing 93 this year, but then he went and looked at some video and made some adjustments mechanically. Now he's back up to 97, 98.
And for our younger viewers, Jack Clark had his great years with the Cardinals. Played with the Yankees for a couple of years as well. Power hitter, and you know, now working in radio, or he was working in radio
with the San Francisco Giants too. Had some good years.
Yeah. So he said those things, and you know, baseball's kind of gotten itself into that mess. When you have good years and you do things that are not the norm or exceptional, people are going to think, well, something's going on.
If you have a breakout season, that somebody like Chris Davis in Baltimore, you're starting to hear that in Baltimore. This guy's doing something, and to me, that's the real shame of all this. That you know, everybody has to be under suspicion. I think it's just the nature of things. But it kind of puts a cloud over the year that Chris Davis has had. I don't have any suspicions about it. I just think he's grown as a hitter. And he's always had the ability to hit the ball 450 feet.
He's just doing it more consistently.
Yeah, exactly. He's a better hitter than he was before.
The 2-2. Strike three. Iglesias down looking. In the 7th, no runs a hit, no errors, and one man left on base at the end of 6.5 innings of play here at the stadium. It's time for the 7th inning stretch with the Tigers leading the Yankees by a score of 9-2, but we'll stay right here as we honor America in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and remove your caps? And please direct your attention to the area behind home plate and welcome 3 honored guests of the New York Yankees. United States Army Master Sergeant Eric Mraz, who served in Operation Iraqi Freedom. United States Air Force Master Sergeant William Lonergan, who served in Operation Iraqi Freedom. And United States Air Force Corporal Peter Milanic, who served in the global war on terrorism. The Yankees say thank you for your sacrifice and service to our nation. Now please join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
To the old
9-2 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Sanchez has pitched well. He's made really one mistake, the 2-run home run to Overbay. And you see the Cadillac scoreboard. The Tigers with 14 hits, the Yankees with 4. So Granderson is going to lead off against the Detroit right-hander. Fouled away. It'll be Granderson, Nunez, and Overbay.
Adam Warren heating up in the Yankee pen. Job has worked the last 2.
Hunter is there to make the play.
Once again, looked like Hunter got a late break, and looks like he's motioning to Jackson, and he didn't see that ball particularly well either. He was frozen in a spot and then made his move to make the reception. You know, Michael, we were talking about earlier about how the Tigers invested heavily in Anibal Sanchez. And looking at his stats all season, his earned run average this season has never gotten above 2.93. So he's been dealing just about the whole season long, with the exception of the time he was on the disabled list. The high point for his earned run average is back on July 11th. He lost the ball game to the White Sox. And his ERA went up to 2.93, and it's back on the way down again. He went to 285, 268, 259, 258, and he's allowed just 2 runs today.
Foul back. You know, we were just talking about Jack Clark, and in the paper today, Verlander really reacted strongly to the comments that were relayed to him that Jack Clark said. And Jack Clark, about 24 minutes ago, tweeted out 2 tweets. And he said, "I completely stand by the story I told 8 days ago about conversations 13 years ago with Millfield, which was a trainer for Pujols. He will never admit it. Google it." And then part 2 of his tweet, "I never accused Verlander or Green," I don't know who Green is, "of PED use. If you didn't listen to show, you don't know, period." Well, his superiors actually listened to the show, and they ended up firing him. I think the Green he's talking about is Sean Green. Well, certainly Verlander's reaction.
This conversation 13 years ago. This conversation.
He said he had a conversation. That's what he said on the radio show. He had a conversation with the trainer for Pujols 13 years ago, and at that time, the trainer said that he had injected Pujols with PEDs. The trainer now denies it, but Jack Clark says he stands by his story. Swing and a miss, and I guess the people that have reported what he said about Verlander, either he's saying they took it out of context or they didn't report it correctly. And you know, I dealt with Jack Clark for 2 years here with the Yankees. Great guy. And I'm sorry that he's thrust in the middle of this and that he lost his job. But you know, you've got to be careful when you lob those accusations. It was pretty serious. But he's saying that he didn't accuse Verlander of anything. There's a strike to Overbay.
So how did he get that point with Verlander even injected into this situation?
He must have mentioned Verlander in some way, and Verlander, and then it was reported that he accused, maybe he intimated that when you lose velocity or whatever, when he's saying he never said that he used PEDs. But if you read the New York papers today, Verlander was very upset. He said, why do I have to put up with this? Well, I guess I'm a big name. One. 2-1. I guess that's the world in which we live.
You ever think we'll get away from all of this?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of great things going on in baseball right now.
Yeah.
Great stories, and this kind of takes some of the spotlight away from that. Overbay the Yankee offense today. That 2-run home run in the 5th inning. The 3-1. Sanchez still throwing hard.
You know, and you talked about it earlier. Drew Smiley's warming up in the Tigers bullpen, the left-hander, about his number of swings and misses, and we've seen a lot of them today.
Yep. That was his problem when he was a young man. We mentioned this earlier. He threw 97, 98, and he was done after 4 innings. He had nothing. But now he takes a little off, changes speeds, works all 4 quadrants, and here he is, 100 pitches in. His 100th pitch was 95 miles an hour. Staying stronger, longer.
Did you mention the pitchers that had the higher rates of swings and misses?
I did not.
Yu Darvish is number 1. 32% of the pitches that he's thrown swung on and missed. Matt Harvey of the Mets, 29%, and Max Scherzer, Sanchez's teammate, just a slightly higher, 28% than Anibal Sanchez. Swings and misses on all the pitches that they throw.
Overbay with a nice at bat, works a walk. And that's going to bring up Jason Lewis.
That is the first walk handed out by Sanchez today.
Count 1-1. Crowd has taken to doing the wave. The 1-1. 1-2. Sanchez looking to pick up his 10th win. He's 9-7. Count 2-2. Swing and a miss. Nix has struck out 3 times against Sanchez. No runs, no hits. 1 man left. We're going to the 8th. Summary, which is brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. 14 hits for the Tigers, 4 for the Yankees. Tigers lead 9-2. Hunter a 3-run home run, also a sac fly. Jackson and Cabrera each have hit solo home runs. Overbay, the Yankee offense, a 2-run home run in the 5th inning, and that was with Nunez already on, having doubled before that. So it's 9-2, middle game of this 3-game set. Yankees won yesterday 4-3. Tigers looking to even it up, and Adam Warren will take over. He's the 4th Yankee pitcher. And last time we saw Adam, this would have been the final out of the game in Chicago, but he touched the ball rather than let it go through to Cano, and then that kind of opened up the floodgates. And when it was all over, the White Sox had come back to win the game. He was that close after Cano's home run to winning it. And the pitch to Austin Jackson is high. 1-0. So he took the loss in that game. He's pitched well for the Yankees. An unusual role for him. The Hyundai scoreboard shows you 9-2 because he's essentially a starter coming up through the minors, but he has taken this role and made the most of it. Mop-up guy, and it's an important role on a team. Ground ball to third, backhanded by Nix, and a nice scoop on the glove side by Overbay. Let's send it to the studio, and Bob Lorenz, he has an update on Josh Reddick. Amazing. I mean, we're all wondering what happened to Josh Reddick after that last year. And, I mean, the first half of the season was abysmal, but it's starting to come around.
I think he was dealing with the wrist problems early in the year. I guess it's all healed, at least in the last 2 days.
The 0-1. Broken bat. Looper into left field, and Torrey Hunter with another base hit. His 3rd hit of the day. Lost a bat, picked up a hit.
Well, he had a great July when he hit 384. The 3 hits are going to pump up his August numbers. Summer fun in Motown with the Tigers. Can't help himself.
Here's Cabrera. Let's see if they can turn 2. There's 1. Cabrera's not running well, and there's 2. 6-4-3 as Warren comes on to work a scoreless inning. He can do everything, but right now he just can't run. We're up 9-2. Why hurt yourself even more? The Toyota Prius, official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. Well, so far that's the only thing sweet for the Yankees today. That and Lyle Overbay's 2-run home run. It's been about the Tigers as they lead 9-2. As we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. New pitcher for the Tigers. Anibal Sanchez goes 7, gives up those 2 runs, and now they turn it over to Drew Smyly.
Yeah, Smyly worked 2/3 of an inning here last night, gave up a hit, and that was it. So he gets the call again today. He'll face 9-1-2 for the Yankees on our Hyundai scoreboard. There it is, 9-2. The Tigers leading in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Austin Romine will start it off. Takes a pitch outside, 1-0. Swing and a miss.
Smyly was a candidate for the rotation back in spring training, battling Rick Porcello. Porcello won out. Smiley's gone to the bullpen, done a good job out there.
And that would have given them the lefty. That's the one thing they're missing, a little bit of balance in their rotation. It's all righties. Those are Drew's numbers, so very, very good. Can't ask for much more than that. Less than a 1 whip, more than a strikeout per inning. Swing and a miss, and Romine is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts.
Last pitch, slider, cutter, hit on the hands, and Romine over the top.
Here's Gardner. And a strike.
The Yankees had 4 hits in the game. They were bunched in the 4th and 5th innings. 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, including the home run by Lyle Overbay. And outside of that, it's been relatively quiet for the Yankees. In all the other innings, they've only had 1 man on base, and that was the walk to Overbay in the 7th.
Count 1-2 to Gardner. Gardner's 1 for 3. Fly ball to left in the 1st, single to right in the 4th, the first Yankee base runner, and then grounded out to 1st in the 5th. 2-2. High fly ball, shallow center. Coming on is Jackson. He makes the play for the 2nd out. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Here's Ichiro. He is 0 for 3, but he does have a stolen base. Reached on a fielder's choice, and there he has a base hit. And he is 7 away from 4,000 combined between Japan and the majors.
You know, they bring a left-hander in. Usually it's the matchup that the opposing man. You want to rethink that with Ichiro, the way he's been hitting left-handers this year. How does he do that?
It's unbelievable. He stretches just like Ichiro as well. He was out there yesterday in the home pinstripes. Today he's gone with the road grays. Coming into today, Kenny, Ichiro against left-handers, 350. And 250 against righties. So with that base hit, that goes up. You're not exactly neutralizing him. That Ichiro impersonator was taking pictures and signing autographs for people about 30 minutes earlier today. Frank Caliendo makes a living out of it. The 1-2. But it's uncanny when he starts stretching like Ichiro does in the outfield. You think you're watching Ichiro Suzuki.
You know.
The 1-2. Right back to Smiley. And that'll do it here in the 8th inning. No runs a hit, no errors. One man left on base. We go to the 9th. It's 9-2 Tigers. Tigers collide in the series finale. Coverage starts at 12:30 with the Tri-State 4 pregame, and it's only on Yes. It's Pettit against Verlander. Adam Warren against Prince Fielder. Well, you see Fielder, who is 1 for 4. And now he's 2 for 5 as he takes it the other way.
You know, not only do the Tigers have a couple of players 3 and 4 in their order who hit for power, they also are good hitters. They hit for fairly high averages, including Cabrera, who's leading the league in hitting. And they know how to drive in runs.
There's a strike to Victor Martinez. Victor, an RBI double in the 5th. Count 1-1. Jeremy Bonderman warming in the bullpen. Not holding Fielder on at first. Overbay behind him. And the count 3-1.
A hit by Fielder. Now the Tigers have pounded out 16 hits today.
Count 3-2.
And only Hernan Perez is the only one who doesn't have one. He's that guy. Always one guy who doesn't get invited to the party. I've been there. You've been there, Michael?
I've had a life there.
No, that's not true. I've been to your parties at your house years ago.
Well, if I throw them, I'm invited.
Yeah, okay.
Little kid is happy with a baseball. "3-2. Grounded foul again.
Talked about how the Tigers have been playing so well. They've increased their lead in the Central. And Michael, when you're on a team like this, you come to the ballpark every day expecting to win. You got several of your starting pitchers rolling very well.
Yankees can turn 2 here. There's 1, and there's 2.
Each day when the game starts, you're usually either even or a little bit better on the mound with the starting pitchers.
Well, the vote for the Chevy Player of the Game, visit votechevy.com. Results will be revealed in the postgame show.
And you got hitters, another hitter, your number 3 hitters having maybe another MVP type season, getting back by the rest of the lineup. It's a fun way to play baseball. That an entertaining manager. No nonsense, of course, but entertaining still.
Leland is certainly a throwback. You can almost see him managing in the 40s or the 50s. The 2-1. Kelly continues a really good day for him as he laces one to left center. Granderson comes up throwing as Kelly's going for 2, and he makes it.
That's Kelly's 3rd hit of the afternoon to go along with 2 runs batted in. This time he's going to pick on the gap in left center field. This is brought to you by Yesmo. On your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. There it is. Base hit to the gap. And Granderson and Gardner both had a chance to run it down. Granderson gets it back in. Kelly with his 6th double of the year.
And here's Avila. And that one is chopped to second. Cano is there, and that's going to do it. So Adam Warren gives the Yankees 2 shutout innings. Somebody's enjoying his celebrity. Tigers final box score presented by Subway. We don't have to do the winning box score just yet. Yankees can still rally in the bottom of the 9th. Everybody's had a hit except for Hernan Perez. 3 for Hunter, 3 for Cabrera, 3 for Don Kelly. A lot of deuces in there as well. And way too many hits for the Yankees' liking. I believe there's 17. A rough day for the Yankee pitching staff. And they go to the bullpen again just to get the final 3 outs, or they hope. It's Jeremy Bonderman. We saw him yesterday.
Those are his numbers both with the Tigers and the Seattle Mariners. Mariners let him go. Tigers signed him 3 days later. He's back in Motown.
Soriano will start it off 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts, sitting at 1,999 hits. And he takes a strike. He's really taken wild hacks lately, and that's what happens with Soriano. Sometimes he can carry a team for a couple of weeks where you can't get him out. Other times he's flailing up there and really biting on the breaking ball out of the zone. Strike 3. Soriano down looking. He strikes out for the 3rd time.
Bonderman started with the breaking balls, then finished them off with a fastball to the corner. Man, right there.
Soriano did not like that call. Here's Granderson, 0 for 3. Count 1-0. Granderson grounded to first, struck out, and flied out to right. Count 2-1. Tigers used their entire bullpen yesterday except for their closer, Joaquin Benoit. Albuquerque is the one who gave up the winning run, and he was going to have to be in there for a while before they went to Benoit. Count 3-1.
Yeah, Bonderman got 2/3. There is Joaquin Benoit, who took over as a closer as Jose Valverde was let go by the Tigers. He had been the 8th inning guy. Now he's just graduated to the 9th. The 3 last outs.
And Granderson works a walk. Well, after the final out, don't miss the WB Mason postgame. Bob Lorenz is going to break down all the action from today's game. Also give you the latest highlights from around baseball. Get you set up for the night games as well. And then Meredith Marakovitz is going to be in the clubhouse for the team reaction and Joe Girardi's manager's report. It's the WB Mason postgame, and of course, it's only on Yes. Here is Eduardo Nunez. I'm excited about tomorrow's game. You've got Andy Pettit, who pitched a little bit better his last time out. How he's going to do against a really potent Tiger lineup, and the Yankees matching up against one of the best pitchers in baseball. Seems like he found what he was looking for his last couple of times out. So Verlander against Pettit, and we'll have it here starting at 12:30. First pitch is at 1:07. Line drive and caught by Iglesias for the second out.
Yeah, off the end of the bat of Nunez, and couldn't get it over the shortstop. His opposite number, Iglesias, 2 down.
Here's Overbay. 1 for 2. He grounded to short in the 3rd. He had a 2-run home run in the 5th, and then he walked in the 7th. Not holding on Granderson at first, obviously. Yankees down 9-2. Final out here. And Granderson goes. And he will move to second on defensive indifference. A lot of time young fans ask, well, why don't they go if they're not holding them on with no outs or 1 out? Because you see the line drive that Nunez just hit? It would be a double play. So with 2 outs, you know nothing bad could happen. You just take the extra base. And the count 1-2.
The Yankees have not seen the Tigers since way back in April. First week of the season, the Yankees went to Detroit. And you can see how the season has developed for the Tigers. They are potentially running away with the Central. Their offense is strong. Their pitching's good. They've improved their defense.
Grounded up the middle, a base hit. Going to be another RBI for Overbay as Granderson will score. And Overbay has driven in all 3 Yankee runs.
Overbay now with an even 50 runs batted in on the season. During the series in Los Angeles, didn't Overbay drive in all the Yankee runs during that series?
Yes. All the earned runs.
Oh, okay.
There were 2 unearned runs. Overbay goes, and he'll take second on defensive indifference as Nix takes a strike. Crowd of 45,728. Many have headed for the exits as the Yankees fell behind after the Tigers scored 4 in the 5th and 3 in the 6th. And there's tomorrow's starter. Swing and a miss, and Nix down on strikes, and that's going to do it. Yankees lose this game 9-3. Miguel Cabrera, another big game. Torrey Hunter as well. Austin Jackson, Don Kelly with 3 hits, 17 hits in all as the Tigers win 9-3, and this series is even at a game apiece. Stick around for the post-game show to find out who is today's Chevy player of the game. We'll come back. We'll give out an awards. We'll get you set up for Bob and Meredith on the post-game show. Tigers win this one 9-3.